What's happening, everybody? Welcome to another movie review from Anthony of Anthony's Takes. Just got back from seeing Justice League with Santino. On my way driving home in the commute, because we saw the movie in Daly City, and I live in Concord, so I made the drive. So I just wanted to get this movie review out while it's still fresh in my mind. Don't worry, I'm not going to talk spoilers until after, and I will let you know when I do talk spoilers. So, Justice League. Okay, so as you know, there's a lot of things, post-production and pre-production, that went down in order to get this movie out. A lot of shit had to be done, had to be delayed. Just all kinds of things. It was really good. I enjoyed myself. Santino enjoyed himself. It was a very good movie. It was better than Batman v Superman. And to some people, that's not saying a lot, you know. But I definitely enjoyed myself in watching this movie, mainly because of Aquaman, Flash, Cyborg. Even how serious Cyborg is, you still appreciate that. And you know, Wonder Woman, of course, she definitely had a bigger part in this movie. Aside from her solo movie, she definitely had a whole lot of dialogue. She was basically one of the leader of the team. Her and Batman split that, you know, and there's even a scene in the movie where they address that issue, you know, between Bruce and Diana. It's really good. It was the cast was great. Ezra Miller, he's a great Flash. I'm still kind of too used to Grant Gustin as the Flash. So, but this Flash, he was pretty good. And I'm not gonna, give any spoilers away. But sitting there through the movie, there was this one thing that just kept bothering me, and it pretty much happened whenever Superman came on screen. And if you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. There was an article that came out way before the movie was released that Warner Brothers is gonna have to digitally remove the mustache from Henry Cavill, the guy who plays Superman, and due to him being contractually obligated to not shave his mustache because he was also filming Mission Impossible at the same time. So you know, they had to digitally remove the mustache, and it caused a lot of problems, so to speak, in the visual effects department of this movie. I mean, honestly, it was the elephant in the room where anytime he was on, he didn't even have to speak. He could just be standing there in a scene, and you can tell it was the visual effects was just really bad when it came to removing the mustache. And it almost seemed like he wasn't allowed to, shave his stubble, because you can even tell, like, I don't know. As I was watching the movie, I completely forgot about that situation of him not being able to shave his mustache. So I'm like, why the hell are they CGing him so bad? Every time he talks, you can see the CG of the way his lips are. It's not genuine. It's like, what the hell is going on? Like, the audio is there. He is speaking himself. I don't think he went into a sound booth and like redid his lines. So I was like, why the hell? What's going on? Like, it was almost as if, like, it reminded me of Paul Walker and the Fast and the Furious, in the one they were filming, and when he passed away, that one scene in the end where, you know, it was his brother, but then they digitally enhanced it to where it looked like him. It reminded me of that. Like every time Superman came on screen, there was only a handful of scenes where it really looked good, where I couldn't notice it. But every time I did notice it, it took away from what was happening in the scene. And I just couldn't get my eyes off of it. Like, what the hell? So, there's that. That pretty much took away from the whole experience of the movie anytime Superman was involved. But when he was involved, it was good. I don't want to spoil it like I keep saying, but I'll save that for later. When he was in it, it was very refreshing. It was very different from what we've seen from Superman and BVS. You know, the depressed and moping around type of Superman. A lot of people didn't like how he was in Man of Steel. I enjoyed Man of Steel. It was really good. I enjoyed the way they took Superman, who was a character that's very campy and corny, and, you know, Zack Snyder did a good job of, you know, making it more serious and taking away certain aspects that made Superman corny to some people, and, you know, pushed it up a notch when it came to, you know, the fighting style and everything like that. So that was really good. There were 2 end credit scenes, and both of them were very good, but one of the end credit scenes has Superman involved in it, and I just couldn't get over the CGI. I don't know what it was. I just couldn't get over it. Overall, it's a good movie. At times, it's very predictable, as with, you know, as many superhero movies that are coming out, and every movie that is introducing a new villain. It has its moments where Steppenwolf, I thought they did a real good job with the CGI on Steppenwolf, I would think. I hope when the Aquaman movie comes around, they definitely improve the visual effects of what Atlantis looks like, and what everyone looks like when they're swimming around in Atlantis. You know, it just when they show Aquaman, he's just like this, and he's swimming, but like he's not moving his legs or his hands, or I know, but like he's shooting like a dart through the water. It looks like he's flying, basically. It looks more like he's flying than swimming through the water. But I would definitely have to give this movie a solid 4. A solid 4 out of 5. It was very enjoyable. I was hearing through other channels that there was a little bit too much comedy. I didn't get that. I didn't get. Maybe it was because of the. There were some jokes that didn't land. Like, I kind of giggled at a couple things, but nobody in the audience along with me, sitting next to me, anywhere in the audience, like, also laughed, you know. I'm not sure if those jokes just went over everyone's heads because of how serious the movie was, but you can tell that Joss Whedon did have a hand in the movie, you know, and a lot of the discussion that I've been hearing is like, okay, you know, what would have happened if Zack Snyder did not step away? What kind of cut of the movie would it have been if, you know, Zack Snyder didn't have that tragedy in his family? But would it have been worse or would it have been better? You know, it kind of sucks to say that, but it's like, okay, Joss Whedon stepping in. You didn't see Joss Whedon's name anywhere in the credits in the beginning. You still see it's a Zack Snyder film. directed by Zack Snyder. Zack Snyder's name was all over everything. But I remember an article coming out a couple months after one of the trailers dropped saying that, quote unquote, the Justice League is unwatchable. So, and it was prior to Joss Whedon stepping in and doing reshoots. They delayed the movie, did reshoots and post production, and it makes, like, as I'm sitting there, I was thinking to myself, was the CGI on Superman because he wasn't in the movie that much and they put him in there to add more scenes of Superman, like, which reminded me of like how Rogue One was shot, and the final cut of the movie was done without that Darth Vader hallway scene. That Darth Vader hallway scene on the ship was basically added after the original filming of the movie. But so it's hard to like decipher, how much of Superman was there in Zack Snyder's cut and Joss Whedon's cut of the movie. And I know we'll probably never know. We'll probably never see that. I don't think we'll ever get a Blu-ray release of Zack Snyder's cut of Justice League. But yeah, so I think that's about it. Non-spoiler talk. Yeah, let's get into spoilers right now. Okay, so spoiler talk. Yeah, from the get-go, that very first scene where it looks like a kid is recording Superman on their cell phone, you can tell the CG in his face. Like, I was thinking to myself, like, okay, it was almost getting to a point where, like, it didn't look like only his mouth was CG'd, but also his eyebrows, his facial expressions, everything was just terrible from the get-go. And I was thinking to myself, like, okay. It was pretty interesting what he said, though. Like, the kid asked him, what are some things that are, to you, what are some things that are the best about planet Earth? And Superman just kind of looks down and doesn't say nothing, and then it cuts away. So Steppenwolf, for being a villain that is introduced, it reminded me a lot of when he came to the Mascara. The way he just drops out of the sky, it just reminds me of Loki from Avengers. I mean, I can't help but constantly, just compare Justice League and the first Avengers. But, it's gonna happen. I just got reminded of a couple of things from Avengers, from Justice League. But, other than that, I was very well entertained whenever Aquaman was on screen. That was really good. When he has that battle with Steppenwolf along with the other Atlanteans, that was really good. And, he was pretty much denying Bruce Wayne his help because he didn't believe him. But then once he got a taste of what Steppenwolf was capable of, he definitely, was ready to lend his hand. But that was a really good fight scene that they had underneath the water. That was really good. I like the whole backstory of Cyborg. I wasn't too familiar with Cyborg. In the comics, all I know is that, he died and then he was brought back to life by his father. So, but in the movie, he is brought back to life by his father using the power of one of the mother boxes, one of 3 that Steppenwolf is basically after, so that he can, rule the planet. What were his motives? You don't really get a hint at what his motives were other than just ruling the planet. So, just coming to lay waste to the human race or something like that. He first takes the mother box from Themyscira and has that this battle with the Amazons that are there without Diana even knowing about it. One mother box was in Themyscira, the other one in Atlantis, and the other one somehow came into the possession of Cyborg's father. I mean, they do go into the backstory of that, oh, it was buried, but then I do not recall them saying how it came from being buried to the possession of Cyborg's dad, aka the dude from Terminator 2. What was his name? Dyson. That was his name. Dyson. The scene where they first assemble, it is just Batman, the Flash, and Wonder Woman. They come together, and then Cyborg is following them around, you know. And then when they first come across Steppenwolf and they're trying to fight him, and they're underneath a tunnel where it's surrounded by the Gotham Harbor. That's when Aquaman makes his first appearance, and as soon as I knew, it was like Steppenwolf caught a missile that was shot to him from the Batmobile, I think, or the crawling thing that I forgot the name of it that Batman had, and he redirects it to the wall, and that's when all the water comes. And as soon as the water came in, I knew Aquaman was gonna be in that wave, and just that was pretty sick. The way he stopped the water. Well, he didn't really stop the water. He kind of still let it come through, but he just slowed it down. That's why I was like, okay, I thought he was literally just gonna stop it, and it was gonna be like a wall of water. But no, he actually something to look forward to, that maybe he'll hone his powers in a little bit more. So we got an Aquaman that is still, you know, not one with the sea quite yet, you know, or yeah, but he had very few moments when it came to him getting to use his powers, other than just, you know, punching and kicking and using his trident to stab the parademons. Now, when Superman gets brought back to life, see, what was very contradicting was that at the end of BVS, you know, you see the dirt rise from the top of his coffin, and to lead you to believe he was alive, you know. But in the beginning of this movie, like, no, he's dead. He really is dead, and it takes the power of one of the mother boxes to bring him back to life. Bruce is going crazy, like, from the get-go. Once he finds out that the mother box can, you know, it brought Victor back to life and made him into Cyborg. Hey, we need fucking Superman. We cannot do shit against Steppenwolf. We need Superman. So, they bring him back to life using that, and that scene where he is tripping balls and he's pretty much fighting the Justice League. Well, he's fighting Aquaman, the Flash, Cyborg, Batman, and Wonder Woman. He's just there with no shirt on, just giving them hell. Like, and he's, you know, he's not evil. I want to say he was evil. He was just very confused. And it took Bruce Wayne to brought Lois Lane out. Lois. So that leads me to believe that that's what Flash was talking about in Bruce Wayne's dream sequence, you know, that was in BVS. Saying that Lois is the key. And so basically, that's why Bruce, he mentioned it earlier in the movie, like, oh, he was telling Alfred, we gotta bring the big guns out, and that's what he meant, bringing Lois Lane to calm down. It was a contingency plan in case Superman, goes against the Justice League, because they didn't know what type of frame of mind he would be after coming back from the dead, and it kind of seemed like Superman wanted to stay dead, and he kind of gave that vibe off, like he has Batman by his face, and he's just like, okay, you didn't want to let me live, now you didn't want to let me die, what the fuck? And then throws it back in his face saying, do you bleed? And then he fucking just, like, once he sees Lois Lane, he fucking just tosses him, and it was pretty funny to see Bruce Wayne, or Batman, crack a joke. What did he say? He said, something's bleeding, because he was hurting. He got thrown into a damn cop car. So, but yeah, that scene was pretty much probably the highlight of the movie, other than the climactic scene with Superman just beating the shit out of Steppenwolf. Once Superman came on the scene, man, like, Steppenwolf was nothing. Like, Steppenwolf was handing it to the Justice League left and right. They had no answers to stop him, but Superman was the only thing that they had up their sleeve, and it was like, it was easy work for Superman to take care of Steppenwolf. So, the end credit scene, which is something, well, the first end credit scene was just something that was, something that's always been wanted to be seen, was the Flash racing Superman. It's pretty funny. And like, the second one, of course, you get a shot in prison where Lex Luthor busted out of jail, and he had a decoy that was in his cell the whole time until they finally figured it out. But yeah, it looks like he was busted out of jail by Deathstroke, or he probably busted out of jail and then just happened to meet Deathstroke on his boat. So, yeah, Deathstroke, he looks pretty good. Joe Manganiello, I don't know how to say his damn fucking last name. Manganiello? Yeah. He looks damn good as fucking Deathstroke. He has the frosted hair, the beard, the goatee. Yeah. Because that could have just been anybody in the costume. I was like, wait, is that really him? And yeah, he took his helmet off, and there he was. So that was really good to see. Setting up the soon-to-be Batman solo movie. And the future of that is still up in the air, because Ben Affleck keeps flip-flopping in between. He's not going to do it. He will do it. He's not going to. Like, what the hell is the latest on that? I'm not sure. I haven't been keeping up. Hopefully we do get Ben Affleck to come back as Batman, to go head-to-head with Deathstroke, a villain that we have yet to see in an action movie. Definitely long overdue. We got a taste of it from being in the Arrow, Deathstroke, going up against the Arrow on the TV show. But a totally different actor, of course. What?
Open the door.
Hold on. But overall, very good movie. It's better than BVS. I would give it that. Could have been a little bit better. I mean, just the CGI of the mustache catastrophe just really gets on my nerves. I don't know why. Like, why couldn't the people over whoever the hell is making Mission Impossible just let him shave it? I'm pretty sure he'll be able to grow it back in time to film whatever the fuck they need to be filmed. Or it would have been easier for them to let him shave it and just wear a fake fucking mustache for Mission Impossible. Did it really have to be a real damn mustache? Like, how important is that damn mustache to whoever the fuck is making the Mission Impossible? So, next time we see the Justice League in action, or if we get, I think we're getting another Man of Steel movie, Superman sequel. Hopefully he doesn't have a mustache. Needs to be digitally removed. Jeez. But yeah, overall, other than that, very good movie. Let me know what you guys thought of the movie. If I missed anything, I know I'm going on just off the top of my head what I can remember that stood out to me in the movie. Yeah, the ending definitely. I love the way they finally incorporated Superman's freezing breath, and it wasn't just for, you know, using it on parademons or some shit. They actually used his freezing breath to freeze Steppenwolf's axe, and, you know, he was like, he didn't know what the hell to do with himself once his axe was broken, and that was pretty much the downfall. So, let me know down in the comment section what you thought of the movie. If you agree with me, if you disagree with me, let me hear you. If you enjoyed my movie review, hit the like button, subscribe, and share. If you did not, eat a dick.